Mark, just to confirm, I am using the generic model.
Yeah. And that's as I saw it. You're in the generic X Cup.
Roger that.
How are you doing this? You have your resolution set at like 2 pixels by 2 pixels or what? I mean, I see.
Are you flying in 1080p? Yeah, that'll help. I'm finding a PC these days, if you want to stay pretty much top end, you've got a life maybe 4 years, maybe 5, but not much more than that. Here we go. I'm getting icing again. Has anyone here got the Reverb G1 and G2?
Flying a G2?
Have you had the G1?
No, sir. Just the G2.
I've got the G1. I was just wondering about how big a difference it is. One of the reasons I cancelled the order was not only just because I couldn't get it, but I wasn't sure because the resolution's the same. I wasn't sure if it was really going to be justifiable. I was just wondering if anybody's had experience in the G1 and the G2.
Yes, I do not, of course.
Yeah, I've only read what people say. Most people say that it's not that much different.
Yeah,
but of course, yeah, you'd have to judge for yourself. That's the problem.
Yeah, the feedback I've had and is that the resolution's the same. I think the performance is pretty much the same. The colors in the G2 is probably better. The G1 is a little bit washed out, to be fair.
Yeah, and of course the audio in the G2, because they went with that whoever's audio solution it was, supposed to be better, I think.
No, that was the Steam solution, wasn't it? The Valve Index.
Yeah, with the off the ear adjustable position speakers. And I think the cable itself, the VR cable it's still pretty stiff on the G2, but I think it's supposed to be a little less cumbersome than the G1.
Oh, the cable on the G1 is a nightmare. It's so stiff, it really is, because it's that double cable joined together. I think on the G2 it's a single one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It doesn't split until it gets to the box near the PC.
Yeah, that's much better. The cable on the G1 was the source of the hassle right from the beginning, and it's just too stiff. I agree.
I also find the plastic clip that they give you to secure it to the head strap isn't very good, so I've just used some Velcro cable ties. I find that's much better.
Piece of crap.
I popped mine off a few times, but now I guess it's taught me how to use it because I'm surviving. We're getting along okay now.
Yeah, I put mine on. I've had no problem. It just works.
No, I can read the display of my aircraft very clearly with the G2. It's I'm happy, it seems really good. Bit of a problem wearing glasses sometimes because I find the glasses get a little bit steamed up, but I'm going to go for some contact lenses just for doing this, I think.
Do you know?
Yeah, just the headset will get steamed up too for me sometimes.
That's the one thing with, I think, both the G1 and G2. They do get a bit hot, to be fair.
That's true. I do sometimes have to lift it just to get the heat out.
Yeah, me too. Particularly if I'm spending more than an hour and a half in it, I can definitely feel the heat building.
No, we were talking about... Go ahead.
I was just going to say that my G2 was my first headset, but the cockpit is razor sharp. If it was just a little bit sharper, I could read some of the Garmin text. But I love it. It's just that I can't get the rest of my system to. I need to go from 90 to 100 on the render scale to get that extra resolution, and I can't.
Right.
It just crashes on me.
I've been using those VR cover replacement things, goggle parts, and they really help because they bring your eyes closer to the screen. I think it just seemed to help with the sweet spot. Don't you guys try that?
I've done it. I'm using it, yeah. I switched. I got it, changed to it, thought, well, I'll try it for a while, and then I just never changed back. Been using it ever since.
Yeah, it's very good.
And as far as the clarity in the cockpit, I don't like say this on the forums and stuff because people are thinking I'm just a VR nut and that because there's always this debate. People go, well, is VR as clear as my 4K monitor? When I look everywhere on the screen, it's like, well, no. Your eyes aren't as clear as your 4K monitor if you were actually flying, because everything on a monitor is equally in focus, right? Anyway, but the fact is that I can't fly 2D anymore, not because of the immersion, which is great, but also because all the gauges and stuff are too small. I'm looking at my monitor from 2 feet away, and my monitor's not all that big, and so the gauges are really small. You practically have to zoom in them. But when I'm in VR, I'm in the cockpit, and the gauges are an arm length away, and they're right there in my face, and I can actually read them. Yeah, there you go. That's the thing. See, mine's a 23-inch monitor, so it doesn't work.
My glasses don't fit comfortably over the G2.
Yeah, I'm going to go for some contact lenses just for doing stuff like this. You can get disposable ones for around about, I suppose, equivalent to about $10 a month.
Yeah, it's something I got to be honest, I've been thinking about it, but some of the prices I've seen just scared me off.
Boots do a good system, Mark.
Is this contact lenses?
Yeah, and they do them in varifocal.
Get laser surgery, that's the best thing I ever did. So I was basically blind until I did that.
Really? I've just been too nervous to go to that.
That's my biggest fear when I did it, but they gave me so much Valium and stuff that when they were actually doing it, I didn't even realise they were doing it. It is nerve-wracking when you kind of can smell burning and it's actually your eye.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you could have not added that part.
That's what they warn you before they do the surgery. They say, don't worry about it. But to be honest, like say they put so much drugs in you that you don't really realize it. You don't really. It felt like I was watching a 3D movie. Is kind of what I remember of it.
I've heard about £3,000 per eye. Is that correct?
I got it done in the States because that's where I am. It cost me $4,500. That was like going back about 8-9 years. That was for both eyes.
Each eye or for the pair?
That was for the pair.
Yeah, I'm
That's
short
very
sighted
good.
as well. I've got astigmatism, but I don't have the problems. I use a 49-inch monitor, not VR.
500.
Wow, I'm way too high here.
You say that every time.
And it's true every time. You think I'd learn, eh?
Ah, man, I wish the runway was.
See the runway again.
I wish it was more lit up.
Hell,
No runway lights
Captured
here.
by the scenery.
No, no runway lights. And I never turn on airport tags. I like the challenge of trying to figure out where it is, but if it wasn't for gamer tags, I wouldn't find most of them.
There's like a shed in the middle of this runway.
I've still got 10 miles to run.
What's the runway heading?
28.
28. Runway 28.
Okay.
Altitude is 55.
Okay. Yeah, Mark, I see you're getting a run at it from a distance here.
Yeah, I'm just doing a quick circle to lose a little bit more height. I'm going to follow Pippo the Clown in.
I didn't land on the runway, but I landed on there.
Well, there you go.
No, I've never been that brave.
Aw, dang. There was, it was too dark. I couldn't see the trees at the beginning of the runway, and I have damage turned on. I saw them when my landing lights lit them up. Oops.
Yeah, we're going to take off in the opposite direction to the way we landed and go again straight over the edge of the cliff. Is everybody down? I think so.
Not me.
Yes.
Got 5 miles to run, Mark.
Okay, we'll just wait a few minutes.
touching down now.
I'm just respawning after the crash into the trees. Turn the time of day down a little bit, or a little earlier, so I can see the trees next time.
I'm on 3 mile finals.
No problem. Whilst we're waiting, guys, I think we can taxi to the other end of the runway. Prep for takeoff.
Oh, so we're going to take off on 28 or 29?
No, we're going to take off the opposite way to the one we landed. What did we land on? 28.
Okay, so we're going to take off on
whatever the opposite is.
Yes.
100.
My brain just can't compute what that is right
100.
now.
I'm looking around. Am I the only one in a caravan? Looks like I might be. Oh, maybe there's one.
Are you at the start of the runway?
I'm in the front row here waiting to take off.
Yeah, I don't think you're the only one in the caravan.
Okay, guys, let's head.
So here I am in the front with no flight plan. What direction are we going to be going?
Okay, so we're departing. We're going to be heading 280. This is our last leg now, guys. We're heading to Foxtrot X-Ray Mike Hotel. And it's arrival runway 14, so circle to land. Altitude's 5,150 feet, but once again, we got some high ground to clear. Runway 14.
Copy.
I heard somebody say something about NTSB earlier, and I didn't realize it was a gamer tag. Call the NTSB. Nice.
Johannesburg Center Cub Crafters Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is type Cub Crafter CC19 1 miles northeast of Foxtrot X-Ray November Hotel 5,900 feet. Request flight following.
Well, I'm following Tipped Bird and Foggerwall.
Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Johannesburg Center. Squawk 2065.
Squawk 2065 Cub Crafters X-Ray Golf Sierra.
1 miles northwest of Foxtrot X-ray November Hotel 6,300 feet. QNH train 0.12.
Mark, if I don't get a chance to tell you at the end of the flight here, I sure do appreciate you doing this. I'm looking
Roger,
forward
Cub
to
Raptors, X-ray
doing
Golf Sierra.
number 5 with you.
It's my pleasure to have you guys with me. Just great to share the passion, actually.
Been following your YouTube videos for quite a while, but this is my first opportunity to fly with you.
Same here.
Oh, it's great to have you guys along. Because, you know, it's all good to have all the serious stuff and what have you, but for me, a lot of the flight simming, this is what it's really about. Just flying with friends, having a chat, comparing notes, discussing various hardware and software. You know, this is fantastic.
Especially with the MCN.
So I hope you guys have been enjoying the scenery.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
It'd be good if you could do British Columbia or Alaska. That would be very good.
Yeah. Al, how you hanging in?
I've had a lot of disasters today, audio-wise. Couldn't hear, couldn't speak. Couldn't get any engine power. Had to change planes. It's been a nightmare, but I've really enjoyed it.
Okay, just checking, buddy.
British Columbia is one of my favorite areas to fly.
Hey, Mark. Sometimes you have special guests, right?
Yeah.
Does it? This is a touching. Does it matter if they're a YouTuber? I mean, you know, because you guys are all competing for views, right? But at any rate, there is a lady that reviews a lot of bush planes, and she seems to fly in this kind of Alaska, British Columbia area. It's AV Angel.
Seen her. Yeah.
And she gets these reviews out for these planes really quick, and so I end up watching a lot of her videos. She's very knowledgeable, and she might know the area super well. It might be kind of cool to have a special guest and fly with her in that area.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Where I can, as I said, that there was a guest lined up. He's a big YouTuber. Makes me look like a very small fry. Whose name will remain anonymous for now. And he had agreed to come on, and then he had some family issues, and wasn't sure whether or not he could join me or not. And it was only actually this morning that he said he had to apologize to me, and which he didn't need to do, and said he couldn't make it. But I'm not competing for views. YouTube's a hobby of mine and a way for me to share my passion and whatever, and I'm very thankful for everybody that supports me, but I'm not really here to compete with anybody in terms of how many views or subscribers I have or something like that. I get a lot of satisfaction from getting subscribers and what have you, because I feel all the time and effort I put into it's appreciated. But that's why most of, Steve, Q8 Pilot, VR Flight Sim guy, all these guys I've had on, they're also YouTubers.
Yes.
And if they can gain some subscribers at the same time, well, that's great too.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know anything about her, like what time zone she's in, or I just feel like she has real life experience as a pilot, but I don't know that. But she's really into I think it's British Columbia, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so did you say AV Angel?
Yeah, Av Angel is how it's pronounced. It's just spelled out AV Angel.
Okay, I'll definitely. I'm not familiar with her, but I will definitely look her up.
I think she's British, and I don't think she's ever been a pilot. But her last video she did about, probably not last, couple of videos ago, she was talking about how her passion was learning to fly and how she started swimming as a little girl and things. So, you know, I'm not sure she's a real pilot. You know, she's a full-size pilot, but she's certainly worth looking at, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, just be great. There's so few females in the flight sim space. It'd just be great to have more. And I wish there was a way to attract more female pilots. It'd be a great thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Av Angel just did a video flying out of Stewart, BC, and she's looking for a logging camp that she used to fly to, and I think she referred to a TV show called Back to the Wilderness or Return to Wilderness or something like that, and I got the impression that she was at some point a pilot.
Oh, really?
That was my impression.
Yeah, well, that would be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
She joined the flight, and yeah, I think I didn't see the video, but she was looking for this like lost landing strip. Not to ruin it.
She found it.
I was going to say not to ruin it for myself, but she found it, right?
I couldn't find it yesterday. I went looking for it, but she didn't put a map, so I couldn't really find it anywhere.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There's our group flight.
Well, sounds like, guys, you have a lot of questions already for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did she say all her planes are she's? It could be he's.
That's funny. I noticed that men do that too. Planes tend to be she's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to fall into that category. Yeah.
It's a nautical thing.
Ah, true.
Yeah.
The only plane I think is a he is the DHC Beaver. That is a monster.
Yes. Yes.
I'm wondering if
I think I've crashed more times in that than anything else.
And is that in Microsoft Flight Sim, or is that from another?
No, that's my favorite aircraft in X-Plane.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish they'd do it in MS.
But the flight model in that one is just amazing, and wow, what a handful! I know it's a single engine, small tail dragger, but what a handful to fly! Reminds me of the old FSX days and the Jetstream 41. That was another handful.
It's even a handful in RC. I have one of them in RC.
Oh my gosh.
Good. I have an RC-1 too. I fly helicopters and RC, and I've got one of those as well.
You know what they define an RC helicopter as? A bunch of parts just trying to fly apart at the same time.
Absolutely.
I think you can increase your fuel from the menu, right? If you wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. I just joined in the last part. Hello, Belgium here.
Belgium.
Hello, Belgium.
No.
I'm Sparky Sven. I'm also a big fan of Steve's channel. We're getting pretty close.
Sparky Sven, you're very welcome.
I finally got it. My visitor was here having dinner, so they were all leaving now, and then I can set up my table again with all the Honeycomb Bravo Alpha and the VR sets, and I'm catching up with you guys.
Were they aware that you were kicking them out?
No, I was just being nice, and they was like, "We're going home," and I was like, "Yes, go home," without saying it.
Or were you dropping a hint by walking past them, carrying
No.
carrying the breakfast cereal?
No, I was not like this. I was the perfect host.
They're wondering why he's wearing a VR headset.
Okay, guys, we've got the final airport looming ahead of us here at Mohale's Hoek Airport. It's 5,150 feet. and we are landing runway 14, so it's join the pattern to land.
I kind of cheated. I took the turbo arrow to catch up.
I was lucky you didn't join earlier then. Some of those airports would not have liked the turbo arrow. It's a great aircraft though.
Yeah, I just love it.
You know, like I said, I'm in the Caravan, and the first time I flew it was I joined a multiplayer flight, and it's the one they recommended because of the altitude they needed, the speed they needed, so on. And I hated it. I was horrible. I couldn't land or anything. And then there was an update to the sim that said that it had made some changes to it, and I tried it in another group flight and really liked it. And now it's kind of become one of my favorite. I think of it as a big old lumbering cargo plane, but it's really a short takeoff and landing and good bush plane.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. I almost chose it for this flight as well, and I used the freeware improvement mod from Flight Sim TO. I like it a lot.
I just came across 2 mods on Flight Sim TO for the 172 G1000. One is on floats and one is bush plane.
Yes,
bush
I
tires.
got those too. Yeah.
They are so good and so much fun to fly. With a higher horsepower engine, you have to hold it back. It wants to just go.
Yeah, and the arrows. What made me think of that is how much I like the arrows and why I'm not flying one today. And I was like, oh yeah, because I picked the Caravan.
Yeah,
And the DC-6.
The arrows are nice, just like the subtle feeling of keeping the engine alive after starting it up and so on. It's just little details that makes this plane so nice.
Yeah, then I got the DC-6 recently, and now, my gosh, what a handful.
I'm getting it next week. I was waiting for my new paycheck because I've been paying so many add-ons this month. Is crazy.
You won't regret it. That DC-6 is something else. It really is. Highly recommend. I haven't got to grips with it. I've only done about 6-7 hours with it so far, but wow.
I hope they get the multiplayer thing fixed real soon so we can do group flights or something.
Yeah, shared cockpit. That'd be amazing.
I would love that feature. It's on the list, also, but I don't know when they're gonna release it or fix it.
Yeah, and the DC-6 has a bug in it that you can't even have multiplayer turned on or you'll just crash the desktop.
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, when it first came out, and I was away for a week, but I don't think they fixed it. If another DC-6 is in the area, then one or both of you will crash the desktop.
I think they have fixed that because I saw another stream where they were flying 2 of them in the same stream, and they made it.
Yeah, the Australian simmer did it today with 2 or 3 of them. They were not crashing the desktop.
Okay,
So
I'll have to look into that.
It had a patch that came out yesterday, I think.
Oh, okay, great.
I actually won a copy of it on another stream, and I still haven't had the nerve to try it. I'm still reading the manual.
The DC-6? Yes. Wow, that is a big prize. Holy smokes.
They just did a random They did a random drawing. There were like 300 or 240 people. You just signed on in the stream, and as long as you were there, and in fact, I wasn't there when they called my name. I had to leave. But as long as you'd signed in on the stream, you were eligible.
Wow. Yeah, reading the documentation. Yeah, you got a 68-page introduction, a 330-page ops manual, a 35-page tutorial, and another 25-page tutorial.
yeah, but I love your review of Mark. It was nice and simple, and just the overall view of it was nice. The other ones, they really go deep in details, which is also nice, but you have to have the time.
There's also a patch that someone put out. I haven't unloaded it yet. that actually lets you use a checklist from within the sim. Like some of the other checklists, as you're going through it, it highlights where the control is, illuminates it, and then tells you what it needs to be so you can get used to where things are.
Okay. So that doesn't come with it by default. It's like a add-on for it?
Correct. Yeah, and it's free. I mean, you know, there was no cost for it. There's a gentleman by the name of the Flying Fabio that I was following before I picked it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Guys, can I ask you to just run up to this, to the further end of the airport where most of the aircraft, where Boulder Sim is and Flyer C172, etc. I'd just like to get a group shot if I may. And also, there is a giveaway today. It's a £25 voucher from Just Flight.